Sawadee Crab, it's Parnellyx, guys. What's up? So today we're playing Warwick top lane, which is something a lot of people have been asking to see. I'm actually back to playing some more top lane now, and this game was extremely crazy. A lot of YouTubers are always going to clickbait, you know, when they have like a crazy game. They're like, "Oh, this is the most insane game you have ever seen in your life. You have to watch this. A must watch." The best game you'll ever see in your entire lifetime. Click now. But this game was actually crazy. I'm not going to go as far as to say it was the craziest, I've ever played, because I've been playing this game for 11 years. So I've seen some bullshit. But this game was absolutely nuts, and one of the most wild games of the year for sure for me, especially in the last month. So I think it's going to be really fun to go over, as well as to go over, a new build that I've been testing over the last couple weeks that I think is actually really good and showed it's worth this game. So the build that we're going to be going this game is we're going to go a Divine Sunder heavy CDR build. So I did mention before in a previous video how I think Divine Sunder is very overrated in Warwick. It's not a great item, which is true. But I did mention in the video, I think it's a very strong laning item. It just doesn't scale well on Warwick because he has high CDs, and he needs to also build some tankiness. So it just doesn't really fit in terms of scaling for Warwick. But I did find a solution to this problem if you manage to snowball the game, and you're going to see it this game. Now, do note, we're playing against Yasuo top. I'm running Press the Attack. I normally don't run Press the Attack versus Yasuo. These are actually my Aatrox runes, so it's just kind of what we have to deal with, sadly. So the lane's going to be a little bit tougher than normal. Yasuo with lethal tempo is always kind of annoying to deal with, but he has no ignites, which is why I'm able to actually fight him in my minion wave here, and we're actually able to kind of get away with our poor runes in a relatively poor matchup, because he isn't running ignites, and he's still trying to all in us level 1 inside our minion wave. But against Yasuo, my strategy, as you can see early, is to I'm trying to push in the wave. I'm trying to get early push, but I'm also trying to avoid poke from his Q, and trying to avoid all-inning him early on because of his lethal tempo. So I'm basically just trying to hit minions while also dodging his Q. That is the early strategy here. And at this stage, I do actually have the capabilities of whittling him down and taking some more aggressive trades. But I know that Zach is pathing topside, so I'm on edge here. I do have my Eve kind of hovering, as you can see right there. The Zach shows up, but if Zach ganks me, I could completely lose my lead, and I'm trying to not lose my lead. I'm trying to play a little bit smart here and be careful about pushing in this wave. Zach goes for an aggressive flash Q on me, and they just don't have the damage. I'm under turret, so I don't know what they really expected without ignites. Eve's able to help me clean up another kill, and we're 2-0 over this Yasuo. And we got the perfect lane position as well. Notice how this wave is going to freeze perfectly. So we'll just fast forward. This is actually a long game, so I'm going to go ahead and just fast forward through a lot of the boring parts of the game. So yeah, we're going into Divine Sunder. I think it's going to be a pretty good option into Yasuo, just because he's not a champion we can sit there and auto attack a lot, because he's just going to be dashing through minions, right? So we want to have a strong Q. We want to have a strong bite to poke him and whittle him down. So I think Divine Sunder is really good. And the enemy team overall, I just they're relatively squishy across the board, minus the Zach. Aatrox is also pretty tanky as well, but it's mostly Zach that's going to be a problem in terms of divine damage. But I think going Divine Sunder we're really just playing for the early laning phase. We're trying to snowball our lead. I mean, we got the early lead on Yasuo, so I want to try to not think about the late game. I don't want to have to think about the late game. Of course, this game goes to the late game, and we do manage to find a solution around that, but we want to try to focus on the early game, and we want to try to just stomp the Yasuo as much as we possibly can. So we're right there. We try to shove in the lane. We're going for a deep ward to set us up. Right? Yeah, okay. So we ward right there. Trying to go for a deep ward to set us up to let this wave bounce back so we can freeze on Yasuo. And because of how ahead we are over to the Yasuo, we can try to try to look to freeze here. And just bully the heck out of him. But the wave actually doesn't end up bouncing back. I don't know what happened there. So it's kind of slow pushing into him. So I think we're just going to go ahead and try to... Actually, I don't. This lane state's really weird. Okay, it's starting to push back again, so I don't even know what happened there. I think you just queued the wave a couple times, and it's starting to bounce back. So I'm trying to take it slow. I'm trying to play off the... I'm trying to, like, you know, let it push. And I'm also trying to contest every minion. So, like, keep that in mind. Every time one of my minions is getting low, I'm trying to get in his face here and make it hard for him to CS. Those are your windows to harass. So, you know, a lot of people will say, like, Warwick is a cheese pick because you just simply don't fight him, right? Well, there's windows where you can harass for free. Because he's got a CS as a melee champ. He's got to walk up to the minions to CS. So if you walk up to him when he walks up to the minions, then he has to decide between, you know, if he has to walk away to avoid getting poked, or if he's just going to miss the CS, you know, and end up missing the CS, or if he's going to, you know, hit the CS and just get poked down. But right there, I was setting up the freeze, of course, but because Eve was looking for, you know, was there and she was pinging for a dive, I decided to push in. It's just a free kill on the Yasuo, and we're gonna go ahead and just grab a plate. I use my E to proc Sheen twice, and now we can get a very nice reset with the wave pushing back. And we got Caulfield's Warhammer and Sheen, and we got a beautiful freeze. I mean, look at this. So this wave is obviously very, very big. These minions are doing a lot of damage to me, but who cares? Yasuo doesn't have kill pressure over me, and I'm gonna be able to sustain because I'm Warwick. I can sustain through this minion damage I'm taking. I'm okay being half health. I don't really care if I'm half health because that's just Warwick. So we're just gonna hold this freeze here. Yasuo actually like goes missing for like a few minutes. I need to figure out what the heck he was doing, honestly. I don't know what this man was doing, honestly. That was a question I had. I think he was like trying to like wait for the wave to bounce back, but I don't know if he was like looking at his screen or not, or what was happening, because clearly I had this lane frozen and he couldn't do anything. Maybe he was scared of an Eve gank. That's actually very possible. He was probably scared of an Eve gank, but I don't know why he wasn't like sitting in one of these bushes, you know? Regardless, we got a nice freeze. We're setting up, and yeah, you also can't walk up and farm. I'm up 24 CS, and this is how we push our leads on Warwick. So don't try to over freeze and hold a freeze if you are behind, or if you're about to get ganked. If you fear dying to a gank, be careful around that. But also if you are not able to win trades, then don't freeze. But if you're able to completely smash your lane opponent like I can this Yasuo right now, you want to freeze the wave because that's how you grow your lead. That is the best way to get poke on him. Because as you'll see later, we're gonna play more for our slow push. We're gonna right here we accidentally slow push because we actually messed up the wave. I did not intend on doing this, but the problem here with slow pushing, and the reason why I don't want to slow push here, well, we can actually kind of ignore that fact because Aatrox is really low HP, and I'm just running down mid to try to get a free kill, flash, auto Q, fear, get him away. We are chilling. I'm going for a greedy reset here, knowing Zach could walk in. But because we have Eve, I think I can get away with this. Sadly, my ultimate gets disrupted. I get an arrow to the face, and this fight is suddenly starting to look not too hot. I mean, the Zach is definitely dead, but I don't know how Eve is going to survive. I don't even know if she does or not. 6 flashes for her. Might be able to get her out alive. Okay. I think it all works out, but I did give over a bounty. I gave a bounty over to the Ashe support, which I guess it went over to the Ashe support. It's not too bad, but still not ideal. But we managed to get our Divine Thunder off of that, so it all works out. So yeah, anyways, so when you get your first item, or really whenever you feel like you have like strong kill pressure of your opponent, which is usually your first item, that's when you're going to want to be playing around a slow push. Now I actually didn't slow push. This was a mistake by me. I shouldn't have fast pushed this. I should have last hits and waited for the next wave to come. That way I can get a big wave to crash on the turret. That's what a slow push is. And I don't know where Yasuo is here. Zach is looking like he's trying to fight me, and that right there has me thinking like, There's no way he's trying to 1v1 me, right? So I'm just going to back out. And I think Yasuo wasn't there. And Zach was just being stupid. But I'm not going to assume he's stupid. Because, I mean, if he's stupid, whatever. But if he's not stupid, I just end up throwing my lead. So I don't want to throw my lead. So yeah, generally speaking, we're going to want to play around the slow push when we have this item advantage, though. Because we're able to force dives much more easily. Because if we don't have Divine Sunder and we start slow pushing, you know what Yasuo can do? Yasuo can play safe. He can give up some CS. He can let the wave push to him under turrets. And he can just not trade with me. And if I take a couple of aggressive trades with him, it's not going to be enough to set up a dive. But now that I have Divine Sunder, I can take a couple aggressive trades with him, just like this. And suddenly I can set up a dive very easily. I have a lot of kill pressure, for him under the turret. So I don't really need to freeze anymore. Freezing is what you do when you just can't kill your opponents whenever. But now that I can kill Yasuo basically whenever I feel like it, we're going to be looking to push in the wave because, not only is it a free kill, but it also means that we can get turrets or turret plating and whittle down this turret overall. So we're just trying to right now we're just trying to chunk him and set him up for a dive. He's half HP. I gotta be careful about his passive, so I want to get rid of his passive before I dive. That's kind of what I'm looking for here, but I got my ult off, I got barrier. So I think I walk up auto, get rid of the passive. Flashes, we Q through his tornado, and it's just easy peasy. We didn't even need to ult there, even though he flashed. So that is why at this stage of the game we are looking to set up slow push and play aggressively all of a sudden instead of freezing, because we don't need to freeze. Freezing is what you do when you want to zone your enemy off CS and force them to come to you. But I can just force myself at him now, so there's no point to freeze. I think I was looking for a recall here, but Zach just kind of shows up, and I decided, well, we can try to fight him. I messed up really bad. I don't know why I didn't ult there. I have no clue why I didn't ult there. I think I was worried about him flashing over the wall, and I wouldn't have had enough damage. So I decided to go for the chase here, and this is a very, very greedy chase. I mean, enemy team is all MIA, and this is just me throwing my lead. Now, Zach didn't have passive, so I could have, killed him, but I probably was going to die afterwards, so that was just bad. That was incredibly greedy, and because the enemy team was all MIA, I was probably just going to die guaranteed, so very, very low percentage play by me that I took, and that is step 1 to throwing. Step 1 to throwing your lead. I was 4-1, and now it's not looking too hot. We managed to shove. I kind of forgot that I killed Yasuo there. Sorry for not slowing it down. Not that much to see. Just kind of shit on him. But we're just trying to push out the wave. We get the turrets. Look for a counter jungle here as well. And I think I feel safe with the ward trinket there. But then Zach comes in. Yasuo comes flying in as well while I'm doing some counter jungling, and I managed to die. They actually CC chain so well there. It's so perfectly. That was 3.5 seconds where I couldn't press E or couldn't press Q. I was spamming both of them. And I couldn't press either. So sadly, I ended up dying there. But I don't think it was a bad play for me to go for the Grom. I thought I was pretty safe. And I could have probably 1v2'd had I gotten my E or my Q off or something. But it just didn't work out. But at this stage of the game, though, we're really strong. We got a Ravenous Hydra power spike. But because I'm spiking and the game is relatively even, I'm wanting to try to... well, I'm trying to not miss my ultimate. Ult into the wall like that. We're going to pretend that just didn't happen. But I want to try to use my item spike, right? That's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to use my item spike and develop a lead for the team. Because I'm strong, and I think that's our team overall is a little bit stronger. But this fight definitely goes bad. This fight definitely goes bad. The ult into the wall was not good. I don't know what happened with the rest of the team, but fight was simply not good, and we actually lose hella gold right there. We're down 3k now, or 2.5k off of that one fight. And it's definitely, especially not good because their team I would say arguably it kind of outscales us. Because Zac is really, really hard. Zac and Aatrox are hard to kill. They'll definitely be hard for our team to kill in team fights. But also, Ziggs and Ashe have so much poke. They have so much raw poke and just range advantage over us. It's going to be hard for us to really do anything about it. And that shows this game. That really shows this game. I think we saw the Yasuo top right, so I'm looking to group and utilize trying to utilize, a numbers advantage. But Yasuo's down here. Managed to get a big ult off. My focus this fight is to try to, like, I'm trying to focus. Yasuo getting out is the most tilting thing of all time right there. And I think we end up losing the fight as a result. But I think this fight was a good fight to take. It just, Yasuo getting away just made that really annoying. A couple unlucky things happened. But yeah, we're just trying to take any potentially advantageous fight that we can. Our goal in these fights is to focus a squishy target that is easy to access. So our first priority is probably going to be Yasuo, because he's generally the easiest. But if Ziggs or Ashe overstep, I'm definitely going to prioritize them instead. That's basically what we're going for. We don't deal damage to Zac, so we're not focusing the Zac. Aatrox, we're not going to be trying to kill Aatrox by ourselves. If we have teammates around, sure. Right here, I'm trying to make the flank on the Ziggs, but our bot lane dies, and I'm just put in a really sticky situation. I'm trying to do whatever I can to get out here. I'm actually succeeding pretty well. I'm stalling for my team, and as Aatrox is going in, Zac is preoccupied with me, which kind of saves my teammates there, thankfully. But I end up dying in the end. I hate to see it. Now I'm 5-6. I was 4-1 just not too long ago. Some bad fights, unlucky moments, and now we're in a rough spot. So we got our CDR boots, Ravenous Hydra, Divine Sunder. So yeah, wait, did I already mention the build? I don't think I mentioned the build yet. Holy shit! I actually recorded this once already, and this video, and something was wrong with the recording, so I have to redo it. So sorry, I apologize if I'm repeating anything, but the build that we're going here is we're going Divine Sunder into Ravenous Hydra. That is the build that we're opting for. This build is speccing into heavier CDR and damage early on, at the cost of survivability, with health from like Titanic. Now, usually this is going to be a problem not having Titanic, not having any health here. Usually you're going to be too squishy, but because I was ahead in the laning phase and I was snowballing, I can spec into heavier CDR to spam Qs more often. I mentioned, in my previous video about Divine Sunder, that is the biggest weakness with Divine Sunder and Warwick, is his cooldowns are too high. You also can't really spec into high CDR because of the fact you need to build some tankiness on Warwick. But if you were ahead and you're snowballing, you don't need the tankiness as much. The CDR you can kind of get away with, because you're less likely to get one shot. So that is the logic behind this build. If you are snowballing with Divine Sunder, going into Ravenous Hydra against a squishy team comp, I think is actually really good a lot of the times. If you think you can get a lot of value with spamming Q and stuff. So that is the logic here. We were snowballing early with Divine Sunder, so we're going into Ravenous Hydra. If we fell behind, we would have went Titanic Hydra. Now, sadly, our snowball is not looking too hot here, but again, that was just because the fights didn't really go well, and it happens. And I think our next item is going to be Kimpunk Chainsword. Oh, yeah, this another arrow to the face. This Ziggs and this Ashe are really, really annoying to me because I'm trying to chase down some of these people, and every time there's too much range, like slows and stuns coming in to bite me in the ass. Yeah, we're going to Kimpunk Chainsword here because they have a lot of healing, obviously, with the Aatrox and the Zac. So it's kind of a no-brainer. I'm looking for more CDR. I'm looking for more damage, some more health. 3 stats I'm looking for. Makes the anti-healing really nice. Nami's kind of inting right there, trying to save me. I was definitely kind of caught out, but I probably could have gotten away regardless. And Nami just had no escape, so I don't really know what the plan was. So we're going to go ahead and just try to, while Nami's dead, we're just going to go ahead and try to push out the side lanes. Pushing out side lanes and nothing's going on is great because it makes it a lot harder for the enemy team to decide on what to do and to crack the base, because they're going to be forced to, if they want to siege, they're going to be forced to ARAM. It basically means that like their decisions that they have to make are either siege the mid turret or go Baron. It reduces their options. So it's really good to push out the side lane turrets. And right here, I'm just looking to try to create some chaos. I mean, I'm pretty strong. And even though our team is behind, we can't set up like a nice, reliable fight, right? We are just blatantly behind. So I just want to try to start something that I think can kind of turn into a wild fight. Not a standard 5v5. I want to start a skirmish that could potentially, you know, screw over the enemy team. Ends up going all right here, and I kind of agreed for the Zac here. I clearly cannot kill this man. But luckily, it was a bait all along, and Lucian's got my back. I got kind of lucky there, not going to lie, but we'll take what we can get. Like I said, we're really behind. We're down 6k gold at this point, and we're getting kind of destroyed. And again, I think we kind of get outscaled, so we want to try to create a chaotic fight. We're not trying to take blatantly losing fights. We're trying to take fights that could potentially go well, but also, you know, or just kind of coin flip. We're trying to flip the coin here is basically what we're trying to do. And it works out. We managed to make a pick on the Yasuo as results, followed by the Zac. And it's hard we can't really do Baron here, sadly, because we're just so low. We're just too damn low. Nami gets picked off as well. But we'll take the golds in the shutdowns. So I recall. Again, we're building into our Kimpunk chain sword. Aatrox comes in and outsmites our Eve somehow. You know, I'm not sure how that happens, but whatever. Enemy team's on soul point. You know, my team is certainly not happy about that. I'm pretty sure we're spam pinging the Eve there. I'm demanding the blue buff because, first of all, Eve, you just clearly don't deserve the blue buff after that. But the main reason is because I am very heavy CDR build right now. So having the extra mana will help me spam more. Plus, blue buff gives me extra CDR too. So it just fits perfectly with this build. If you are going a very heavy CDR build on Warwick, blue buff is very, very nice because you're a caster at that point. You're not an auto attack champion for the most part. And this is just a tough situation for us. We're trying to make sure that they don't get the Baron, but we also can't really fight them. Again, I'm trying to cause some chaos here, but this was a bit too stupid by me. There's really no upside there because we just didn't have the vision to go for this play. Of course, Yasuo is bot lane, but I needed to wait for my teammates before I go that deep. Because as you can see, the Ashe can just arrow me, and then I'm just dead if that happens. So definitely not a good coin flip for me to take. Because the risks were just too high. The risks were just simply too high. And as a result, we just lose a lot here. I mean, we got to lose a couple members. Eve dies, Lucian dies, Nami dies. Yasuo gets the bot inhib as well. And this game is just falling apart. We're down 8k gold. And this is tough. I managed to survive, or to spawn here in time, or Vlad dies, and I'm the one, you know, keeping this game alive right now. I mean, Lucian's there as well, but you see, my damage versus Zac is just not good. Take an arrow to the mouth again, but I do manage to barely kill the Zac, and that is huge. So lucky I actually killed the Zac there. If I didn't kill him, I mean, very fair, Lucian probably would have killed him as well, but it would have been very risky. Okay, I think Lucian dies here, I believe, right? Yeah, he gets caught by the Aatrox. So that is sad. We were... I mean, honestly, if Lucian was there, we maybe could have gone for the Baron. Probably not, actually, considering Yasuo had TP. So I don't blame Lucian for going for that, you know, that chase on the Ziggs there. But we just have to just try to push out sides again. We're just trying to push out the waves so that it's going to be easier for us to contest a Baron potentially. So I recall. And our next item is we're actually going for a Cosmic Drive next item. Again, we're going for another crazy... Well, we're trying to contest the Baron is really what we're trying to do here. The enemy team does a terrible job at setting up vision. I don't know how they messed up this hard. but this is not good. And I'm trying to go for the chase. I kind of forgot that they have gates to go to. I flash and I rage go through the gates, but I managed to actually follow the Zac here with the Q. And somehow this play just ends up like actually going kind of well. Sidestep the Q. He wasn't aiming for me anyways, but still trying to sidestep it. And this is the benefit of these chaotic fights. This right here is the exact benefit. The enemy team is not on the same page, so we managed to somehow get a couple picks, and now we actually, even though we're losing our base, we do have the ability to potentially get this Baron. And with Baron, we're going to be able to actually wave clear a lot easier and potentially stall for inhibs. That's really what we're playing for at this point. I think Dragon's coming up soon. I don't know if we'll be able to contest it, though. I can't remember if we do or not, honestly. We're just trying to back off. We really managed to get that Baron out of nowhere. But yeah, we're going Cosmic Drive. So the reason why we're going Cosmic Drive here, all right? So we're going a very heavy CDR build. Cosmic Drive obviously has a lot of CDR, which fits nice. The movement speed is going to be great versus their team because they're very kitey. What happens here? I can't really remember. Oh yeah, make the flank on the Ashe here. We're trying to contest this dragon. Contesting this dragon's honestly a little bit. It can go either way, but they don't really have any backdoor threats, so that's why we think we can go for this fight here. Again, we're just playing the odds. We're completely flipping this fight. The 50-50 fight. But we'll take a 50-50 at this stage in the game, right? We'll take a 50-50. And I managed to die to these Ziggs traps. But we did get the dragons. We stalled out the soul, and that's good. Now we just have to reset and try to save our base. But the Cosmic Drive here is nice because the AP is actually pretty valuable considering how much CDR I have. So AP is normally not a good stat on Warwick because it just doesn't have enough good AP ratios. But because your Q cooldown is so low at this point in the game, I mean, you actually get pretty good value out of the AP now because you're spamming Q so much. So it's actually not that bad in that end. And usually I would go like Black Cleaver here, but the reason we're not going Black Cleaver is our team is very AP heavy. So the Armor Shred is really not going to be that beneficial. So the stats from Cosmic Drive actually end up looking better here. So I figured, fuck it. Cosmic Drive angle. It actually is good every once in a while. It is actually good every once in a while, and this is a game where I think Cosmic Drive fits. That said, the next item we're going is Abyssal Mask, and I'm not sure if I should have gone Abyssal Mask instead first. Because, I mean, look at both teams. Both teams are very magic heavy. So Abyssal Mask it would just be very, very nice. I mean, the magic pen for my team would be insane. The magic resist I would get would mean that Ziggs and Ashe poke damage wouldn't be that high. And they wouldn't have much kill pressure on me anyways in general, so... Not sure which one would have been better to go first, but we're going Abyssal Mask next. Abyssal Mask next is really a no-brainer. If both teams are very heavy magic, Abyssal Mask most of the time. So that's the play. But somehow we do manage to actually like stall out our inhibs. That was the point of the Baron though. We wanted to be able to stall out our inhibs. So we don't really care if we lost our our Nexus turret because the Baron helps us stall out the inhibs, and that's the most important thing. And now we actually have a siege angle, and yeah, Eve manages to actually kill this Aatrox. So now we have a 5v4 push in our favor. And considering we were down like 8k gold not too long ago, probably even more, that's kind of crazy, honestly. So given the fact that we're in a 5v4 situation here with the siege, we got Lucian split pushing top lane, I'm actually trying to find an alt angle to... I mean, Lucian's getting some nice poke in here as well. I'm trying to find a nice alt angle here to, you know, maybe make a pick and potentially close the game. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not trying to overforce it, but if I think I see it, I'm going to go for it. So I go for it here, and I was not paying attention to the fact that Yasuo had his tornado up, and I completely ints the game. Completely ints the game right there. All right? Completely. It was very unnecessary. And I mean, as a result, Nami ends up dying here as well. And again, they can just, they don't have turrets to go through. They can just walk in to our base, 5v3, and probably just look to end the game here. So that was not good by me. He's trying to like stall here. I don't know what she's going for. I'm not sure if it exactly works. Solution here is, yeah, Lucian dies, Vlad dies. And, I mean, it's just, it's not good. I mean, Vlad manages to live here, thankfully. So it's clearly GG, right? GG, Kappa. We come in here. Remember, we got so much CDR here. They're all pretty low, so I got blood trails and everyone. We are on the Aatrox, just focusing one person at a time. Aatrox, got him. Vlad deals a bunch of damage as well. Boom. Zach, I got you. And me and Vlad collectively managed to like 2v5 that, basically. I mean, Eve was there too for a short time. I don't know exactly what she did there. Maybe she did kill someone, but that was a miraculous base defense. Miraculous base defense. I don't know how we managed to pull that one out. I thought for sure that we lost the game. But it just adds to the hype of the game. And now we got Dragon coming up here with an open base. We got two... We have no turrets left. Our team has 0 turrets left on the map. The entire map, there is no turrets left at all. But the important thing, enemy team does not have soul. And the gold is actually even here. The gold is even. We have a late game Vlad here as well. He's not like full build or anything, but he still obviously does enough damage to one-shot their squishies. And yeah, I'm full build at this point. I got Abyssal Mass now. Our CDR, let's look at our CDR here. Let's look at our CDR. Dragon. 143 CDR. That's without blue buff. So once we have blue buff, we have 153 CDR. Or ability haste. This is 60% CDR equivalent. This is absolutely nuts. The amount of utility we have with our Q. Every 2 seconds, we deal, you know, a decent amount of damage, single target damage. We heal a bunch. We avoid CC, and we can follow dashes every 2 seconds. I mean, look at this. 2.5 seconds. Our E. 4.5 second cooldown. 55% damage reduction every 55% damage reduction and a fear every 4.5 seconds. We lose the Baron here, but here's the thing. So this is what I was telling my team. We don't care about Baron at this stage of the game. So this is something to keep in mind sometimes. If you have an open base or a near open base, you gotta realize Baron doesn't matter. Like to lose. Like you definitely want Baron, and you don't want to have to give up Baron. But Baron isn't doing anything for them other than giving them extra gold and extra stats for a temporary amount of time. They have nothing to siege. The Baron siege with the minions is not going to do anything really. So Baron is like half value essentially at this stage of the game. We're just playing for the next team fight determines the game. So we want to just take a favorable team fight. The extra stats will help them, but it's really not going to be a deal breaker most of the time in these late game situations. So it's fine to just give up the Baron. We want to push up the side lanes and just try to set up a really good team fight. And again, our focus is to try to... We want to make a pick on the most easily accessible squishy champion on the enemy team. Right here, I'm trying to create space and deny and engage there. Yasuo goes in. He is easily accessible. He is squishy. I'm going to go ahead and just focus him down so he can't kill my teammates. The Nami bubble was absolutely insane. I don't care about... Someone's going to kill the Zac, so I'm just going to go for the chase. And we got a 5 for 1 here. And I have a blood trail here, so I see the Ashe. I see Ashe recalling. I see her. Barely managed to get that fear off in time. She Zonia's to cock block me a little bit. 42 minutes later. And we get the dub. Full CDR Warwick, boys. You'll love to see it. Banger comeback.